There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you.
We are the change that we seek.
Surround yourself only with people who are going to take you high.
I'm rooting for everybody
Black.
black.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our conversations hosted here at the Metaphor Club. I want to welcome everybody as a panel here to our conversations. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to do an introduction starting from our right. We have India Bailey from Johnson C. Smith, Computer Science Information Science Systems, class of 2014. Thank you for joining us, India. I also have Kai Dixon from Albany State University, class of 2014, Mass Communications. Thank you, Kai, for sitting down with us today.
Sure.
I have over there Varel from A&T, North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride. Okay, I guess. Computer engineer from Little Rock, Arkansas. To my left, we have the beautiful Nicole Richardson from Voorhees College, Mass Communication 2015, with a degree in public relations. Or is that Full Sail? Full Sail University also. All right, and all the way to the end over there in the yellow, we have Brianda. Brianda is a graduate from the Art Institute of Chicago. Sorry, thank you. From 2012, Fashion Design.
Yeah.
Fashion Design. And I am Kelvin Carter, your host for today from North Carolina Central University, class of 2015, Mass Communications. So, today's topic,
I said, wow, that sounds deep.
we the talkers of the universities, right? So for today's topic, we're going to talk about internalized racism. Have anybody experienced internalized racism? Any friends? Any friends or acquaintances or anybody?
Have you?
Yes, I have. I do, and I do have a story. So first, before we start, I want to ask anybody know the definition or can define what internalized racism means to them?
I feel like it's subconsciously feeling the need to, like, let's just use white people for example, feeling the need to like appease to them, and sometimes putting our own black culture, minimizing it, just to make people more comfortable.
Okay.
That's what I think it is.
Anybody else have any ideas?
I would say, like, just as being someone black, just not liking certain things about yourself. Like, maybe if you're darker, you might not like your skin, or if you lighter, you might not like your skin. You might want to be darker. There's certain people like that. So.
Okay, skin tone. Anybody else? Brienne?
Yes. I mean, my experience with it, it's just like I find myself like feeling guilty of stereotypes in a sense. Like it's not really a definition, but it's like a feeling I have that sometimes I'm in the wrong spaces and that it's an issue. And it's just another form.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
What about you, Vera?
Yeah, I'm thinking like just kind of generalize. It's more of a generalization for like a certain culture of people, and then also it could be just more internally, like for you having some general thoughts. It could be based on like what the news say, and like you don't really have like a lot of experience of yourself, or maybe you do have a lot of experience, but you go home and watch the news. Now your outlook on your own people that look similar to you, or it changes. It makes you nervous. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Nicole?
I think it's an idea or a picture of what you think a person or a group of people, what they are, and then what they really are. Like what you imagine them to be versus like how they really are compared to black people to others. How they see us and how we see them.
Okay. In my definition, I believe it's like when you view a different race higher than your own, and you try to be that race or or you neglect the race that you are so that you can try to fit into the superior race.
It doesn't show that's about pro-black.
Say that again.
It's a show that's like promotes pro-black.
It promotes pro-black. Is that a good thing or bad thing? Great. Okay. So, internalized racism definition. When this is not full definition, but this is what I found when I was looking it up. When minorities adopt a white supremacist mindset that results in self-hatred and hatred of their respective racial groups. Huh? Okay. So when reading this article, I read that not only does it apply to the black race, but it applies to those of colored descent. So anybody other than white can be considered as internalized racism. With this definition, do y'all agree?
Yeah, I do.
For the most part, yeah.
I think it's a more succinct way of just saying what we were all saying.
From experience, anybody know anybody from experience that fits this category, fits this definition?
First thing that came to mind is like Uncle Ruckus. Ruckus from the Boondocks, like first person.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's a huge example. I think that's what his whole characteristic is supposed to be. What did he say? He has reversal. What is it? Vertigo.
Vertigo. I mean, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So the characteristics of loathing is skin color, your hair texture, or eye shapes. And those are things that people will hate of their own race that makes them want to change into the white supremacist race. So, I have an example. I know somebody in my family who see pictures of them, and they always have pictures of white people in their pictures. One day he came and chilled with me for a weekend, and we were driving in Crenshaw, and the back of his vehicle was really messed up. So I said, "What happened to your vehicle?" He was like, "I bought it this way." Cool. We driving around. Driving around Crenshaw, no problem. We drive around Beverly Hills, and the first thing he says is, "Oh man, I cannot believe I'm driving in Beverly Hills with this type of car. I would be ashamed for somebody to see me in this kind of car." The first thing I said was, "Hold on, wait. We were driving in Crenshaw and you did not say one thing. But now we're in Beverly Hills and you feel this type of way." So this is what drove me to have this conversation, because I realized that he was having internalized racism. I felt some type of way because I'm, pro-black.
Right.
But then when I explained it to him, he felt like he was not in the wrong. So I would love to talk on this topic. Do you guys know people like this, or do y'all think I was in the wrong, or do you think he was in the wrong, or let's talk it out.
I think he's worried about the wrong people seeing him. Like, you're okay if you're not okay if Sam was to see you, and you'd be so embarrassed. But Derek, like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, who cares? But it's like, you should care no matter what color they are, because if you're embarrassed here, you need to be embarrassed there. Like, it don't matter if you're rolling down Crenshaw. Let me roll it back. It don't matter if you're rolling down Rodeo or Rodeo. It don't matter. It's the same street. It's spelled the same way. If you're embarrassed, just be embarrassed.
Right.
But I think because he has, like we were talking about last week, you have that mask that you constantly put up for others, that you want to put on this show, this hunky-dory, like, everything's okay, everything's cool, like, and it's not. And he wants to portray something different.
Right.
I would have told him he was a damn fool.
Yeah. You really exposed him to himself.
Yeah.
It looks like you did. Because, I can see how he may argue that down, maybe because, okay, you said Beverly Hills, right? I guess in that part of town, like, you see what people are in that part of town, mainly.
Right.
Like you said, if you're embarrassed there, you might as well be embarrassed there. Like, you feel like your car is,
Exactly. One thing that he said was, it has nothing to do with race. I just don't want people to see me. I say it has a whole 100% have to do with race, because you don't see not one black person walking down the street. You don't see nobody black driving around here. You see mostly white.
Who was supposed to see him though? Who was he expecting?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Who are you trying to stunt for or trying to look good for? So, Burrell, You know anybody in this situation? Maybe. How would you be in this situation?
I mean, I
You
would
probably wouldn't
guess,
even
yeah.
spot it out.
I would just ask more questions. I don't know his point of view, so I'm always like interested in why someone thinks the way they think, or what made him think that way. So I don't like. Yeah, it could be a race thing. It could be like a income type thing because you're in a different area. So I'm just kind of more just interested in why he feels that way.
So speaking of income, I do feel like it's also an economical thing and a geographical thing. You have people who are raised in certain parts of the nation or certain parts. Let's say you raised in LA and your classrooms, mostly majority of your classmates are white or Latino. And you don't have the interaction with black people. So you mostly are see yourself as white or equal to compared to when you get around your black friends or if you have black friends. One thing my friend said or a cousin said, he was like, I have a lot of black friends. I have a lot of black friends. But I never seen a picture of him and his black friends. You know what I mean? So I was gonna ask, anybody have any personal experiences or internalized racism stories or
I got one. So when I first graduated college, I was working 2 jobs at the time, and I moved back to Atlanta from Albany. And I remember I showed you a picture, and I had like long ass dreads, and I didn't want to cut them, but I was like, you know what, bro, let me try the more corporate thing. And I think we all fall into that trap, you know, because let me look this way so I can come off more professional. Maybe they'll view me more professional. So I cut them. You know, my resume was solid. Cut them, nothing changed. And then it took that to realize, bro, I'm still black.
right,
That's how I'm gonna give you anyway,
Right.
despite what's on top of my head.
right.
And I did that, and I felt really bad. I'm like, damn, I didn't even want to cut them off. I didn't even want to change my look. That's why I got them back on my head right now. So that's an example that I feel like I did.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so are y'all on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all know that tweet that keeps circulating that if a black guy only dates white women, then like he secretly hates himself. Like,
Yeah, I seen that.
are we putting that in this conversation?
That yes.
Okay, so boom. My uncle, my mom's youngest brother does not date black women. Like his first wife, they had a daughter. She was white. Then he got remarried again. Had another daughter, Alana. She was white. And then last weekend we had like a big old surprise birthday party for my other uncle. And we knew he had a new girlfriend, but I didn't see no pictures of her. And I walked in the party and I'm like, that's none of them. I almost said the N-word. It's none of black people. And I see this little white girl. I'm like, who's she here with? And then my uncle goes, oh, this is my girlfriend, Amy. I said, oh.
Yeah, they
Sorry. But yeah, I'm like, oh.
Don't disrespect that.
No, yeah, I'm like, dang, like, my bad if you watch this. But oh well. And I'm trying to figure out, like,
It seems like he has a cycle, but the cycle isn't productive for him. Like he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's dating the same type of people, but the
okay,
relationship-
so I think, and correct me if I'm wrong or let me know if I'm overstepping, but I feel like some black men, not all black men, some black men date others because of our
Hatred for self.
no, like we're strong, like
Yeah.
y'all.
It's
So we-
intimidating.
Y'all know me. I don't take no shit.
Right.
I don't care who the fuck you
Right.
are. And my uncle, he's the type of guy like he doesn't want to have to hear my mouth. I guess not like my mouth, but like you know.
Right.
And so he always dates really passive women who are all white, and they're all like, "Oh my God, it's okay. That's not what you want to do. It's all right, motherfucker. Get up. We gotta go. Like,
Wait.
come on, we waited. Let's go." And I'm trying to figure out like is it a preference or is it some type of deep hatred he has within himself and within our culture and our family? Because he tells me all the time, he's like, oh, I'm the only niece. Well, his daughter. But I'm the oldest one out of all my brothers and stuff. And he's like, oh, Nicole, you know, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm like, Well, shit, you ain't never brought no one that look like me, so really am I beautiful? Or, like, are you just telling me that because I'm your niece?
Right. Do you really mean it, or are you just faking it?
Maybe he's intimidated by black women. And he doesn't know. Maybe it needs to be somebody to approach him. Maybe he's not the person to approach a black woman. I don't know. But I think he should try that. I mean, I feel like
if he never dated a black woman, like he probably is scared at
Yeah.
this point. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I never dated a white woman. Nothing against them, but you know, I need to get checked sometimes. I know a black woman will check you. I need that sometimes for myself. Like you slipping, she'll tell you, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? So I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel.
I do know it's dating out here that there's a huge flux of black men dating
Everything.
others, others, and then the black women are sitting here feeling left out. Like, hey, where am I at? So,
That's next week's episode.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people mention that, but I actually see the opposite, where it's like the black lady is like dating other races. I see more of that than the black guys.
Yeah, I
Like
see that
what
too.
I visually see, like not what I hear, but like what I see. Yeah.
I seen that about 50-50.
have any of y'all been called whitewashed, Uncle Tom?
Nah,
You have.
No.
That's it.
Well, but see, I'm from here, and then I went to HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm from California. All of us, like Southern Californians, like we accentuate all our words. All our words are very drawn out. Like I went to like private school, and then I get to HBCU 2 times, and they like, bitch, why you talk like that? I'm like, what you mean? Why I talk like that? They be like, you just talk so white. I'm like, I talk like I got some fucking manners. What you mean?
Yeah, I went to HBCU, and I went to NC State University also, and I was called whitewashed because of the way I talk. And then when I was in high school, I used to, secretly hang out with the white friends as well as keep them separate from my black friends. So I would be called, whitewashed. But then I moved here, and it's totally different. I didn't know, I didn't know any better back then. I just felt like my white friends wouldn't approve of the black friends, and the black friends would definitely pick on me because I'm with the white friends, and they did pick on me.
I get it.
They did pick on me.
They do though. And
they were like, "Oh yeah, you Nancy, fancy with Nancy over there."
I'm an Oreo.
yeah, call you an Oreo. So just a quick few things to end this conversation. What do y'all think this is a problem within our own culture? Internalized racism.
It can be. I feel like it depends on the person. Like, if you are a black person who is having an issue with it, then yeah. But if you are, like, okay with yourself and have worked through your blackness issues, then I feel like, you're on your way. Because, I feel like it's steps to it,
My question is, can you be woke? Y'all know what being woke is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you be woke and be married to somebody who's not the same race as yours?
That's a tough question.
that is.
Okay, so I watched this interview with Winnie, the model, and the lady that was interviewing her said she was engaged to a white man. They've been together for 8 years, and she had to end the marriage because he was ignoring black problems. Like, I get it, you're white, you cannot relate to my issues, but when she wanted to talk about it, when she wanted to get him to understand, it was like it was like a wall. Like it didn't matter. So it's like, how do I protect my pro-blackness without being anti-white? And how can you continue as a other? How can you be pro-black without being a savior?
You hit something right there.
Deep.
That's deep.
Yeah.
After being in a relationship that long and finding out,
They don't even care. Like,
that's crazy.
can you imagine having a child with another and they come out light, or they come out dark?
Right.
You have a black mom and a white dad, but they have like more of our melanin. It don't matter. You still a black little child.
Yeah.
But because you're an other, you don't know how to raise my son. You don't know how to protect my son. You don't know how to give my son because you ain't never been through it. So it's all
That's
gravy for you, but when it really comes down to it, you can't tell my son how to not be okay when people look at you in the store. Because you ain't never been through it. You didn't walk through the store and didn't even think twice.
Do you think people who are mixed races have those issues more than people of black?
What do you mean issues?
Okay, let's say we're all fully black. No, I don't know if anybody have white mixed in them. Do you feel like blacks? Do you feel like those who are mixed with white reject their black culture compared to someone who is fully black?
No, I think that
Is it more
they
into
don't-
them who are mixed?
No, I don't think that they reject their black culture. I feel, and I've seen that the black culture rejects them because they aren't black. They're not fully black. Listen, you black before you white because I can look at you and I can tell you got
Some kind of
something
coloring.
in you. You ain't all there, baby. So it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like for other families, they make you feel like you're not all the way black. Oh, you're not really from our neighborhood. Like, for example, the guy that was here last week, like he's from Beverly Hills and his daughter is mixed. So it's like, does his black side of the family give that little girl heck because she's growing up in Beverly Hills? She's a black Beverly Hills kid,
Right.
but she's still black. And I'm pretty sure her family and they don't do it like on purpose or with any like malicious in her or malicious intent. But I'm pretty sure they give her some type of like cold shoulder.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I just want to go out on a limb and say like a lot of my the people that I grew up with who are mixed, they end up being like the cool kids. I mean, I'm not really sure how that happened, but that's just how it happened. And then also maybe it's because they actually did embrace the black part a lot. But personally, I guess I really don't see why you have to pick a side. I mean, you're both or all three or whatever you are. You're all of them.
I feel like that's hard for people to identify though, because like being black is so complex. Then if you are three, then being Asian is so complex, and not that being white isn't, but I mean,
It's kind of general.
kind of general, yeah.
Sorry.
So it's kind of like I feel like it's hard for them to work through all that, and if they're not getting accepted by one, it's like, okay, how can I? And then I'm also, want to do right by this person, and I feel like it's,
I feel like they got the hardest.
Yeah, they got it
They got the
hard.
hardest.
Yeah.
And it does start at home too. Like both of your parents talk about that with you growing up. Like you want that to be the first time you talk to your kid, not when they go to school and hear what the other kids are saying about it. So I think it definitely depends on the parents'
Before the
household.
child even gets in the world, like
Yeah.
Grandparents is for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think these conversations, internal thoughts, affect people mentally when they get older with choosing their relationships, choosing their spouse, choosing their marriage, deciding if they want to have kids,
I always felt
family
like,
reunions?
now looking back at like high school, like the guy that you would call awkward or weird, like for sure dated outside his race. Like I went to an all black high school, so like the guy that would be ostracized and paint his nails. Now I look at his life, he's still a bit oddball, but he had strayed away from black identity in a sense. And it's because black kids are horrible. I mean, all kids are horrible, but black kids are really mean.
Yeah.
If you stand out.
Yeah.
I went to a white school.
You
gotta
I
learn
went to
how
a
to
white
take
high
a joke.
school.
At a black school, you gotta learn how
Got
to
to.
push them back. If you don't know how to,
Got
then
to.
you gotta sit in the
Shut down, be quiet in the corner.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the terrible part about being in a black school. you grow backbone. I just definitely want to say that this is not just only a black issue. This is definitely different races. For black people, we call them. You get nicknamed Oreo. For Asians, you get nicknamed Twinkie or Banana. For Latinos, you get nicknamed Coconut. For Native Americans, Apple. So it's really like white feelings with dark outer into outside. So I just want to say that this is a great conversation that we had. I'm glad you all were able to join. It starts a bigger conversation to our viewers. If you see this and you want to tag in and join in with the conversation, please comment below. But it's definitely something we need to go in deeper on later on, especially when we get into relationships, interracial relationships, and dating in Los Angeles.
That's gonna be like
That's going to be even deeper.
crazy.
A long conversation. So, I want to thank you all for attending. Varel, Kai, India, Nicole, and Brianda. And thank you for the Metaphor Club for allowing us to be here in this space. And we welcome y'all for following us again. Until next time, protect your blackness. Thank you.